In the Marvel Universe, we often focus on the most powerful heroes and villains, but have you ever wondered what lies at the other end of the spectrum? What about the characters who don't make the highlight reel, whose powers might elicit more chuckles than gasps of awe? Today, we're going on an unusual journey. Instead of crafting the ultimate superhero, we're going to flip the script and create the weakest Marvel character imaginable. We'll combine the least impressive traits from across the multiverse to bring to life a character who's notably underpowered. We'll explore 10 key traits that typically define a Marvel character's capabilities, but instead of seeking out the most impressive examples, we'll be hunting for the most amusingly underwhelming ones. From physical strength and durability to intellect and physical abilities, no stone will be left unturned in our quest to create the most endearingly ineffectual hero the Marvel Universe has ever seen. So are you ready to meet a character who might struggle to save a cat from a tree, let alone the universe? Let's dive in and see what we can create. Here are the 10 traits we'll focus on. Number 1, race or species. Number 2, physical strength. Number 3, durability. Number 4, healing factor. Number 5, energy manipulation. Number 6, intellect. Number 7, psychic abilities. Number 8, combat skills. Number 9, mobility. Number 10, lifespan. Let's dive in and create our endearingly ineffectual hero. Number 1, race or species. For our weakest character, we're starting with the most basic foundation, an ordinary human. No mutant genes, no cosmic radiation accidents, no super soldier serum. Not just an ordinary human, an old, weak, and ill human being. I have taken this trait from Aunt May, particularly in her earliest depictions, where she was frail and constantly worried about her health. Number 2, physical strength. When it comes to physical strength, we're looking at someone even less powerful than the average human. Our character struggles with everyday physical tasks. Opening a tight jar lid is a Herculean effort. They might get winded climbing a flight of stairs. Carrying groceries? That's a 2-trip job minimum. This extreme lack of strength could lead to some comedic situations, but it also means they're physically outmatched by almost everyone they encounter. Imagine them trying to help during a crisis. While Spider-Man is swinging from building to building rescuing civilians, our hero might be struggling to open a stuck door to let people out. Their heart's in the right place, but their biceps definitely aren't. Number 3, durability. For durability, I've drawn inspiration from outside the Marvel Universe, and look at Glass Joe from the Punch-Out video game series. Glass Joe is famously easy to knock out, and that's the level of fragility we're aiming for with our character. Our hero bruises easily, gets knocked down by strong winds, and might sprain an ankle just by walking on an uneven surface. They're the type who gets a paper cut and needs a band-aid immediately. In a world where heroes routinely survive building leveling explosions, our character might be taken out of commission by a stub toe. This extreme vulnerability means our character would need to be extra cautious in any remotely dangerous situation. It could lead to some anxious and humorous moments as they try to navigate the perilous Marvel Universe. Imagine them trying to help during an alien invasion, decked out in so much makeshift armor that they can barely move, only to be knocked over by the backdraft from Iron Man flying past. Their fragility might also make them uniquely empathetic to the civilians caught in the crossfire of superhero battles. They could become an advocate for better safety measures and evacuation procedures during large-scale conflicts. Number 4, healing factor. Deadpool is known for his incredible healing factor, able to regenerate from practically any injury in moments. Our character is the exact opposite. They heal slower than the average human, making them extra cautious about getting injured. A paper cut might take a week to heal. A bruise could last for a month. This slow healing means our character would need to be extra careful in their daily life, let alone in any superhero or more likely sidekick activities. They probably have a first aid kit that would make even the most prepared Boy Scout jealous. This trait could lead to some interesting storytelling. Our hero might become an expert in first aid and preventative care out of necessity. They might also develop a deep appreciation for the medical professionals in their life. In a world where heroes often brush off injuries and jump right back into the fray, our character could bring attention to the importance of proper medical care and recovery time. Their slow healing could also make them unusually cautious and strategic. Knowing that every injury is a major setback, they might become adept at avoiding danger and finding non-violent solutions to conflicts. Number 5, energy manipulation. Dazzler can convert sound into light and energy blasts. Our character can also create light shows, but without any of the power or control. They might spontaneously emit weak, uncontrollable flashes of light, especially when they're distressed or excited. This power is more likely to give away their position than to help in any meaningful way. It might make them popular at parties, but it's more of a parlor trick than any superpower. Imagine them trying to sneak around a villain's lair, only to start inadvertently flashing like a faulty Christmas light every time they hear a noise. The unpredictable nature of this ability could lead to some embarrassing situations for our hero, adding a layer of comedy to their adventures. However, it might occasionally prove useful in unexpected ways. Perhaps they could use it to signal for help, or distract enemies in dire situations. Number 6, intellect. For intellect, imagine someone who scored lowest on Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters entrance exam, if such a thing existed. Our character isn't necessarily unintelligent, but they struggle with academic pursuits and complex problem solving. They might have difficulty understanding the scientific jargon often thrown around in superhero circles. Technical manuals are their kryptonite. This could lead to some humorous misunderstandings, but it also means they struggle to outsmart villains or devise clever clever plans. Picture them in a strategy meeting with the Avengers. While Tony Stark and Bruce Banner are discussing quantum mechanics and gamma radiation, our hero is still trying to figure out how to turn on the holographic display. They might suggest solutions that are so simple or off the wall that they're either completely useless or occasionally brilliant in their unexpectedness. However, this trait doesn't mean they lack emotional intelligence or street smarts. They might excel in understanding and relating to others, even if traditional academics aren't their strong suit. This could make them an excellent liaison between superheroes and the general public, able to explain complex situations in simple, relatable terms. Number 7. Psychic abilities. Instead of a powerful telepathy like Professor X, our character has what we might call telepathic static. They unintentionally project their surface thoughts as a kind of mental white noise. This doesn't allow them to read minds or influence others. Instead, it's more likely to give nearby telepaths a headache. This ability is more of a nuisance than a power. It might make them resistant to mind reading, but it also means they can't keep secrets from telepaths and could inadvertently annoy psychically sensitive individuals. Imagine them trying to work alongside the X-Men, constantly apologizing to Jean Grey for giving her a migraine. Number 8. Combat skills. For combat skills, let's look at Steve Rogers before he received the Super Soldier Serum. He had the heart of a hero but lacked the physical capabilities to back it up. Our character has no formal combat training and isn't naturally athletic. They're more likely to trip over their own feet than to pull off an acrobatic move. In a fight, their best strategy is usually to run away or call for help. Picture them in a training session with Black Widow, spending more time apologizing for accidental hits and tangling themselves in practice equipment than actually learning any moves. This lack of combat prowess means our hero would need to rely on other skills to contribute. They might become adept at providing support, gathering information, or serving as a decoy. Their inability to fight effectively might also make them a master of de-escalation, always looking for ways to resolve conflicts peacefully. Number 9. Mobility. For mobility, imagine someone moving at a snail's pace. Our character is incredibly slow, both in movement and reaction time. They're always the last to arrive and the first to be left behind. This sluggishness extends to all forms of movement. They're a poor runner, an even worse swimmer, and they certainly can't fly. Even their reflexes are slow, making them easy targets and poor at dodging. Quicksilver would probably age a year waiting for them to finish a sentence. This trait could lead to some tense or comedic situations where our hero is trying to escape danger or reach someone in need, but moving at an agonizingly slow pace. Imagine them trying to warn the Avengers about an impending attack, but taking so long to get to the compound that the battle is already over by the time they arrive. Number 10. Lifespan. While many Marvel characters have extended lifespans, our hero has the opposite problem. They have an unusually short lifespan, similar to that of a mayfly, which typically lives only for 24 hours in its adult form. Now, we won't go to that extreme, but let's say our character ages at an accelerated rate. They might have a total lifespan of only a few years once they reach adulthood. This means they have to accomplish whatever they want to do in a very short time frame. This trait adds a sense of urgency to our character's story. Every day is precious, and they might be driven to make the most of their limited time. It could lead to some poignant moments as they form quick but deep bonds with longer-lived heroes, knowing their time together is limited. And there you have it, folks. The most hilariously useless Marvel character ever conceived. He's not the hero we need, want, or even accidentally deserve. But in a universe of incredible powers and epic battles, isn't it refreshing to have a character who makes us all feel better about our own abilities? What do you think? What ridiculous adventures would you like to see this walking disaster get into? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, in the grand scheme of the multiverse, we're all probably someone else's useless character. See you next time!